There is an island the size of Western Europe sitting between the United States and Russia. Right now, three superpowers are quietly fighting over it. This week, an American envoy landed on that island with a message from Donald Trump. It's time for the US to put its footprint back on Greenland. And the reason he gave was blunt. If we don't do it, China or Russia will. This is not a real estate story. This is not political theater. This is a battle for the most strategically important piece of land on the planet. Let's start with the basics, because most people have no idea what Greenland actually is. Greenland is the world's largest island, over 2 million square kilometers, larger than Mexico, larger than the entire European Union. It has a population of just 57,000 people, an autonomous territory of Denmark, meaning it governs itself but relies on Copenhagen for defense and foreign policy. During the Cold War, the United States understood exactly how important Greenland was. At its peak, Washington maintained 17 military facilities across the island. Today, just one remains, the Pittafik Space Base in the north, from 17 bases to one. And now, Trump wants to change that. Here's the key fact you need to understand. Greenland sits on the shortest missile path between Russia and the United States. It controls access to the North Atlantic, the gateway between Europe and North America. Any adversary with influence in Greenland can monitor, and potentially threaten, everything that crosses that ocean. On May 20, 2026, this week, U.S. Special Envoy Jeff Landry arrived in Nuuk, Greenland's capital, his first visit since Trump appointed him to the role in December 2025. Speaking to AFP news agency, Landry made the administration's position crystal clear. I think it's time for the U.S. to put its footprint back on Greenland. He said the plan involves, quote, increasing national security operations and repopulating certain bases. Bases that have sat empty for decades. Bases that, during the Cold War, were America's Arctic shield. But here's the tension at the heart of this story. Greenland's own government never officially invited Landry. His arrival was, according to reports, unsanctioned. In January 2026, leaders of 5 Greenlandic political parties issued a joint statement. Their message to Washington was simple and unambiguous. We do not want to be Americans. We do not want to be Danes. We want to be Greenlanders. Denmark's Foreign Minister Lars Løkke Rasmussen was, in his own words, deeply upset. He called Landry's statements unacceptable, a NATO ally, publicly furious with Washington. So is the China and Russia threat real? Or is this just Trump justification? The answer, according to verified intelligence and geopolitical analysis, is, it's real. Russia has been militarizing its Arctic presence for over a decade. New bases, new icebreakers, new missile systems positioned along the Arctic coast. Russia now has more Arctic military infrastructure than any other nation on Earth. The US, by comparison, has been playing catch-up and losing ground fast. China, which calls itself a near-Arctic state, despite being thousands of miles away, has its own Arctic ambitions. Beijing has been investing in Arctic shipping routes that could reduce Asia to Europe transit times by up to 40%. And here's the part that should concern everyone. A Chinese company is already a major shareholder in a rare earth minerals project inside Greenland. Which brings us to the resource question. Because Greenland isn't just about missiles, it's about the materials that power the modern world. Greenland is estimated to hold between 36 and 42 million metric tons of rare earth oxides. Potentially the second largest reserve on the planet, after China. Rare earth elements are inside your phone, your EV, your wind turbine, your military's most advanced weapons. Without them, the technology that runs the modern world stops. Right now, China controls 69% of global rare earth production. And in 2025, Beijing used export controls on these materials as an economic weapon against the West. The Trump administration has been quietly helping Greenland develop the Tanbreez Rare Earth Project, the largest rare earth deposit in Greenland's south, with processing planned on U.S. soil. When Trump signaled military options for Greenland in January 2026, rare earth stocks with Greenland exposure surge. One company jumped 30% overnight. The market understood what the headlines missed. The Greenland situation has exposed a fault line inside NATO. The United States is effectively threatening to expand its military presence in the territory of a NATO ally, without that ally's full consent. Diplomatic cables obtained by Politico revealed something extraordinary. China was actively trying to exploit Trump's Greenland push to deepen cracks in the transatlantic alliance. Beijing calculated that Trump's pressure on Denmark would push European allies to hedge their bets, to move closer to China, to weaken the West from the inside, without firing a single shot. This is the real game being played in Greenland. Not just missiles, not just minerals, but the future shape of the entire Western alliance. Trump's argument is stark: if America doesn't act, it will lose the Arctic to its adversaries. The CSIS, one of Washington's most respected think tanks, agrees the threat is real. But the people of Greenland are not pieces on a geopolitical chessboard. 57,000 human beings who have made clear they want to decide their own future. The Arctic is the new frontier of great power competition, and Greenland sits at the dead center of it. America, China, Russia, and 57,000 Greenlanders. One island, four very different visions of what comes next. If the mainstream media won't brief you on what's really happening, Dark Briefing will. Subscribe, hit the bell, because this story is just getting started.